Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Big Gipp. Hey, when you say it like that, you got
my OG,
to leave the head lingering and let the head shake continue, man.
Yes. How you doing, OG?
You that dude, man. Gipp, man. You literally seen the game from the dungeon to the big stage. I follow you on Instagram and I see a lot of what you post, and you're not afraid to wear your heart on your sleeve. You let them up, whatever you're thinking, this is what I'm thinking. But sometimes you kind of slick with it though. Because sometimes you just kind of post something, put it out there and see what they're gonna do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You want to get it started. You know, you like to start shit a lot, but you want to just see what's happening, right?
Yeah.
But you do have a penchant for calling out the BS, And what I want to know is, has there ever been a time in your life, in your career specifically, where you've had to compromise your spirit to keep the movement going?
No, I think it was a time where I recognized that spirit being in front of my face. I recognized it's almost like you wait for those times and you wait for these accolades, but when you get into these places, you also have to understand there's things that people have to do to get the accolades. I've never been a person that like to be I call it the get along game. It's like I follow what the masses follow. I've never been a person like that, and I think that's really because of the rearing of my father, the rearing of my mother, always thinking about what this is, how it affects you, and how do you avoid it. I think the situation that you're asking about is probably the situation when after LaFace closed, and I think only me and CeeLo got major deals, and Timo and Cujo didn't have a major deal. And I think in that time space, I made a decision to go to LA and ask him to drop me, because I looked at it like, if me and CeeLo was to put an album out separately on a label, we would be competition. And I didn't want to have anything to do with making one of my brothers my competition on the same label. So I asked LA to release me. And I walked away from a $500,000 deal and went to Koch at the time, opened up Goody Mob Records, because I didn't want to leave Timo and Cujo behind. And I gave both of them the opportunity to put records out. And they put out the Lumberjack albums, and I put out my first solo album. And we put out a Goody Mob album without CeeLo. So I think that was the time that I think I was put in a place of understanding. The industry wants you to think about you and yourself. That's not what raised me. The one-man game and that wasn't what raised me. What raised me was, if I get in, I'm supposed to pull 5 more in. And I think hip-hop stopped being like that once the money started coming in. I think once money started coming in and fame started coming in, and then another group of kind of people started coming around you, it's like they always come around your crew and they pick who they like. And then they start taking him here and making him feel special and more valuable than the rest of the crew. And I've always had an eye for that. Like, I was like one of the protectors of the dungeon. So when you came to the dungeon back in the day, if you couldn't get past us, then that means we didn't trust you. So to have that kind of system before we was in music, once we got into music, I really became a headache to executives. Because I would a lot of times be like, man, you ain't did shit to tell me nothing. And if they were to take their credit card away from you, you ain't worth nothing. So why do I have to value your opinion about where this group or where we going as a group? And I think my, you know, my voicing that out loud, some people say, man, you could have been as big as this person or that person. But I'm like, you know what? Where Gipp at, this is where I need to be. Because see, the difference between me and a lot of artists is that I'd already experienced a lot of life. I had my first car at 16 years old. I had already been on train, planes, and everything else before I got to the industry. So the industry never was nothing. Only thing they were giving me was a bigger stage and showing me what fame was. But as far as coming from a solid household with rules and regulations, oh man, the industry, I was ready for the industry before I got there. Because I knew what I was not gonna do. And I knew what I wasn't gonna participate in. And yeah, people used to look at Gipp and be like, man, Gipp drive. Wow. I mean, we were going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one time, and your partner, who got them Scarface brand. He went to Gipp. Man, them shoes, I don't know about you can hang with me today. I don't know if you can hang with me today. Them shoes too wide for me. And I'm just like, but what you don't understand is that when we first got into the industry, it was like around us, we was working at the dungeon, but at that time, really back in that time, you couldn't even get into no studio. You couldn't even go into the waiting area unless you had time booked. And at that time, that was boss time. So a lot of times we would be out in the parking lot all day while Organized Noise went in there and did the music. So with that being said, it taught me from the jump, like, hey man, you gotta put yourself in the position. You also gotta care about the position to make sure nobody destroys the opportunity for you. And one thing that we learned during those times, we would go to dark, and George Clinton was always there. So George Clinton would come back to the dungeon and he would see us and he would, like, y'all a weird bunch of fellas, man. Y'all. And one thing he told me one day, he said, we was getting ready for a show. And I think I walked in front of him, he looked. He said, Gipp, what that is you got on? I said, then what I'm about to go on stage. He said, man, how you start this if the people in the crowd got on the same thing you got?
Mm.
And from that, I said, I gotta make my own clothes. And I remember the first time I did it at a music conference in Nashville. And it was Arista and the premier record companies was Bad Boy and LaFace. And I remember it was all of the Dungeon family and it was all the Bad Boy and Puffy them. And I just remember them coming in and, Puff was on his shit that day. Man, he learned a little something about the country boy, man. He came in looking, hey man, I need to hurry up. And I remember everybody just looking like, what that Gipp got on, man? And I said, you might not understand my Southern dialect because I talk a certain way, but you're going to remember what I look like when I leave. And George Clinton said, Gipp here, when you make music, your clothes supposed to look like the music. So when you always saw Gipp, I always tried to make my clothes look like the music.
Mm. What's interesting is George Clinton. You gotta be weird if George Clinton called you weird. Because George had no problem standing out, like, doing something that was totally unconventional. Weird in a good way, He's always been that type of dude. Even to this day, George Clinton is like that. What is it that you believe that people get wrong most about Southern artists besides the music? What's that biggest misconception?
That we slow, because we talk slow.
Mm.
No, we talk slow. We think fast.
Mm-hmm.
We let you think you're winning, but you're losing in the end. So having that, coming up during them times where people used to just come around and think people slow because where they from,
yeah,
it gave us an advantage a lot of time.
You know what's the trip part is this. The people who act like that, they forget that they're from the South.
Yeah.
Their roots are right here in the South.
Mm-hmm.
The people who paved the way for them, those people who bought land early on, those people who were uh, trailblazers, those who fought back,
Mm-hmm.
they were from here. They. It's almost like they believe they've been systematically programmed to believe the hype, just like people who are not us, who don't have our experience.
Right.
It's like they watching these shows on TV and they think that's what it is. 'Cause I remember I went to St. Louis once, and these girls were in our not dressing room, but in our hotel room. A couple of girls, they were sitting on the bed and they were fascinated by us from the South, fascinated with the vernacular, just fascinated. And so I saw it, I peeped it, and I was like, he was like, what's it like in Texas? And I say, well, what we don't have is all of this madness that y'all have in y'all city, where people are always fighting and killing each other. If you have a problem with somebody, you have to go to the sheriff and ask for a shootout. Mm-hmm. You have to request a shootout.
Yeah.
For real? So yeah, like if you have a shootout, you got to request it from the sheriff. And your friends or somebody else, they cannot get into it. Your family members and stuff, they cannot try to jump in, because if they do, automatically that's a hanging. So people know the rules, so they don't try to help people fight. So we don't really have a bunch of fights and shootouts and stuff, because you have to take 10 paces and turn around and shoot at sundown. I mean, at a high noon. I said the gunfights are always scheduled at high noon. And, you have to count 10 paces. You have to walk away from your opponent. Then you have to turn around and you shoot. And whoever left standing, they win the shootout and they don't go to jail. The other person go to the cemetery, the other person go home, and it's squashed, it's over. And we also don't have the pollution y'all have. When we go to school, y'all got carpool. We go to school and work in wagon pools. Man, these girls was believing every single thing I said, because they watching these damn cowboy western movies, and it's throwing them off. They not understanding that you can come to the South with that type of attitude, like people are slow. You can come here, riding, on the plane, on the top of the plane, and go back underneath the plane.
Yeah.
They don't understand that. So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. There's so many other, cases of that, but I think people are kind of warming up to the fact that not everybody in the South is slow.
Yeah, I think they warming up to it now more, because I tell people, they ask me like, yeah, what's so different between now and then? It's just that it seemed like in the 90s, every time I feel like our people figure out something, they change the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying a lot of times out loud, like what Jay did for Houston, what Luke did for Miami, what Easy did for the West. It just seemed like all my heroes and the people that I listen to, they always at a subpar level when it comes to other areas of music. And a lot of times I look at the men that helped us get to where we were going. We didn't have no manual. We just had raw talent. And I feel like now that I get to this age and I look back, I say, damn, we thought the game was so true when the game was so fixed. We wrote and produced everything. Now we finding out it's been ghostwriters and ghost producers from the beginning. This shit was pop music. And, once you figure that out, it is more about business. But, people say all this. I hate when executives be like, 90% business, 10% talent. That's a lie. That's just a lie.
It's flipped.
It's flipped. Because at the end of the day, my talent gonna outlast your bullshit. George Clinton is proof of that. We got too many heroes around here that's proof that they outlived and outlasted everybody who told them it was over. So when you look at that, you like, that's just a scam for you to steal more from the artist. And then when you look at just like, you look at how they got it set up. At one time, you know, you can get you give somebody something, they give you something back. Now they got music set up where you give them something, you don't get nothing back. You don't get an album to look at. You don't get no credits to look at. You don't even get a physical copy, but they got your physical money. To me, I just feel like once New York understood that they couldn't put the South in a bottle, they changed the rules of how they pay us. And when I look at things like that, I say, now look at that. They let certain artists go out here and do everything that they wanted to do. But then once they figured out that you could go so far as an artist in business, they almost got jealous and said, hold on, they making too much money. They got more money than us. We don't need no more M&Ms and 50 cents. We don't need nobody to sell trillion albums and we can't tell them to go do an interview. So what they went into a room and figured out a way how to put the industry into slavery. That's what a 360 deal is. It's almost like the folk got mad that you started doing the right thing with the money. As long as you were spending it with their friends and everybody they set you up with, it's fine. But as soon as you start taking your money and start investing in it and buying land and opening up business, oh shit, we can't do that. They're getting too smart. So the same person that'll tell you, I'll make you rich and famous and I got your back, is the same person that's gonna send derogatory things about you to the press to bring you down and keep you in the same position. It's almost like, are we doing a business deal or you think you own me for the rest of my life? So I tell kids now, know what your worth is. Because once you sign that paperwork, them folk own your face, your voice, everything about you. And you'll never be able to move forward like people who was able to move forward in our eras after you didn't work out with a situation. I just think that now it's just slavery. It's slavery in a new form because you say that you love artists, you say you want art to live and be expressive, but as soon as somebody says something you don't like, you want to turn the light, they turn the water off. Now see, what's that about? Because you learn now being in the seat, you like, I watched all my heroes say everything they want to say. I watched Luke go and fight for us to be able to say what we want to say. Soon as they make all the money they want to make off of us, now they want to control us and keep us compartmentalized. And I feel like that's where the game losing at. That's why the music trash now. Because ain't nobody doing music.
Why do you think that Luke don't get as much credit as he deserves? Like we know the truth. The people in the industry know the truth. Many of the fans know the truth. But Luke's name is seldom mentioned when people start throwing credit around.
Because he beat the feds.
Mm.
He beat the feds. They were supposed to be able to say banned in the USA forever. And he came out of there with a victory on free speech. Free speech ain't free, is what we learning. Because once he beat that, seemed like that's when the censorship and the cases came.
What are your thoughts on Karen Bass? You know who that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on her giving illegal immigrants basically a stipend, a monthly stipend for their troubles with ICE?
Black people should, and all people should understand that. You got people that's in office that ain't there to fight for you. If we talk about reparations was a conversation that started out there in California that went all the way to the top. But when it went all the way to the top, the same party that said they with you told you can't do that for others to advance. But at the same time, you telling me that it's cool to give somebody I don't even know some money to survive in the country that ain't never gave me nothing. I look at Karen Bass as an imposter because you don't represent me. You represent somebody else. Because I don't know. I think coming from where we come from in the South, Black people did everything. Black people laid the concrete. Black people went out there and picked. Black people did all of that. So when you say we got to take care of these people because they got to pick our crops, where your children at? This ain't got nothing to do with them people. It's got something to do with the system being able to pay a group of people cheap labor. So Karen Bass, to me, and to the California Black people out there, man, like, we got so much power, but it's only in gangs. It's only in street stuff. It's not in power in the system out there. And I think when you look at it, everybody out there bought off. All of these people that's in power, especially when you look out there, it's kind of like from the governor to everybody. It's like, you're supposed to be a great governor, but your city and your state is in shambles. Like, I used to go to LA. I used to go to the Bay. It looks nothing like what it looked like in the 90s. And that's just about people not caring about life. But that's because the government has set up systems for people not to care. If you keep giving the junkies what they want, man, what they gonna care for about doing it right? So when you look at Karen Bass and you say, man, like, when are y'all people gonna wake up and understand it's not about what somebody look like, it's about their policies. And if you look at what's going on right now, nobody can ever directly say that they can do anything for us, but they can always directly say they can do something for somebody else. And I just want Black people in America to just wake up to that one fact. Like, man, we can go out here and say, make sure they all right, but fuck us. Make sure they all right, but fuck us. Like, that's insanity.
You're absolutely correct. You know what's crazy is that we know how they feel, right? We know how they feel.
Right.
Who are they? Some of you out there. Who is they? You know who they is, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, just in case I ain't scared to say it, they is anybody that don't want to see us rise.
Right.
Don't want to see us get it. Don't want to see us have it. You are they. That's you. Now, so we know they, don't want us to make it or whatever, and don't think we should have it. But what trips me out is those who are within who will go and fight for other people before even fighting for themselves and fighting for people who will not fight for them. I'm just not with that, bro. Like, if you with me, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
But if you one of those who, you only with me when you need me, we're a team now because you need me. Right. No, I'm not with that, man. I'm not with that at all.
And it's going on in both states. If you look at California, it's going on with the migrants, or you want to say it like that. Then in New York, you looking at it like you got all these people up here trying to run for the mayor. But then everybody got to say they got to go to Israel before they can say they can do something for the United States. That is psyched out. Like growing up in America in the 70s, this shit was macho man. This shit was chest hell what you got there. Shit out. This shit was about being a man. This shit was about America. Now I'm looking at everything about being about everything else. If these people if they coming from these places, I think it's totally disrespectful for you to show up in somebody else's house and wave your flag. Like, once you do that, man, you the enemy. You ain't with me. And if they giving you free money, hey, somebody, can I have a right to say no? Because in America, we were told you got to get out of the house at 18. So where did he come up with all these funds to take care of somebody else and their family? But you never had a slush fund. But if you look around, you like, okay, if you from this group of people, you can have a dual citizenship, you can have free health care, you can do whatever you want to do. And them folk robbing the bank every month. And then these folk over here, you come over here and say, man, I'm just a migrant, man. Now you in the Four Seasons, you getting $3,000, $6,000 on the check. You on the social media telling people, man, come on over here, man. These folk gravy. It's like, nah, man. This is where, and you know, a lot of people, it's so funny to me. They be like, you're a Republican. And I'll be like, huh? You must didn't grow up with no rules and regulations. I ain't no Republican. I ain't no goddamn Democrat. I'm an Army brat. And if you ever grew up around Army folk, they don't even like politicians. So growing up under my father, who was a sergeant major, went to Vietnam and Kuwait, when he came back from Kuwait, the biggest thing he taught me, he sat down, he said, son, war ain't nothing to play with. And he pulled out pictures and laid it down. And he showed you, see what them bombs do to people's bodies. This ain't never been about nothing but money. It's about these folk robbing these folk. This ain't got nothing to do with no war. And when he came back from Kuwait, that's when he realized that all wars ain't nothing but about money. About politicians doing kickbacks for how long you keep it going on, how long everybody get that envelope coming. So when you look at a situation like Ukraine and you like, hey man, these folk been robbing. And then you look at these people and say, hey man, you know, the Biden was the best for us. Man, Biden ain't gave a fuck about us. Man, Biden ain't never gave a fuck about us. Man, he locked up 400, you understand, 400,000 black people went to jail in the 90s. We never seen them again. But he's supposed to be good for me just because he went and he was up under Obama. Man, I'm from the South. I'm from the country. Once you show me who you is, man, I don't care how many times you change clothes, I know who you is. So just because you got old, I'm supposed to care? No, that's who you was.
Who was Barack Obama?
Barry. Barry, for they dressed him up, gave him a new name, told him he can't go to the black church because that money them people ain't the one money behind him. See, it's like everything is scripted. Barack Hussein Obama. Don't that look like that sound like some shit somebody put together? But this gonna get them though, folk. We fucking with identity politics. So you gotta sprinkle a little bit everywhere so we can stretch him out. And that's what they did. They made you feel like he was here for you, but he was here for a whole nother group of people. Because after he left office, bro, I just started seeing shoes. The color changed everywhere. The children got weak. The girl wanted to be boy. Hey man, I ain't mad at you. You can choose whatever you want to choose. Big mama told me just like this. Hey man, you can put 2 men on the island. Ain't gonna be nothing but death. You can put 2 women on the island. Ain't gonna do nothing. You put a man and a woman on the island. That's gonna create life. That's simple. So at the end of the day, for me, I ain't tripping about what you choose. But I'm saying it's been a systematic, driven program to desensitize and feminize black men. I ain't going. Never. And just because it's right for you and just like it's cool for you, I'm going to stand on this because I know this work. Everything you talking about was created in the pandemic. They got mad at Gipp in the pandemic. I say, man, look, man, we were talking about this on Cell Therapy, man. Go get Behold of the Pale Horse and read the book. It's rolling out just like the book. These folk telling you. Bill Gates go up on TV and tell you, we're going to depopulate the world. Don't worry about it. Gonna give them a little shot. We're gonna make some money. And that's exactly what they did.
Man, it's baffling how slow Americans are. Like, I mean, overall. Like, I mean, obviously there's some very smart Americans, but overall, man, it's really baffling how slow they are. Bill Gates told us directly that he wanted to depopulate the world. He told us this. And then he gets an opportunity where millions of people are falling, just dropping dead, and we're going to rely on him to come up with the vaccine to stop that from happening.
Mm.
The man, I mean, it's a perfect scenario for him to realize his dream, his ultimate goal to depopulate the world, and he has the permission. People are giving him permission to actually hit them with the jab,
Right.
to stick them like
Yes.
Look, man, I will volunteer. He ain't got to force it on you. He ain't got to be slick with it. He don't have to come up with the rules. He just, hey, take this. It's gonna be good for you.
Right.
And we just lining up, taking it, forgetting that this man is a eugenics specialist. He's a
He's not
student of eugenics, and so is his wife.
Right.
How did Americans get so damn slow?
They're not even slow. They taking the money. Like, just like right now, they actually telling you more people die from the vaccine because the vaccine killed them than they actually died from the virus. Now, okay, you got countries saying we want to bring him under charges because we know that this is a poison. You got Africans, hey man, we done had no problem till the Bill Gates Foundation showed up. Now all our children crazy and funny and everything else. You got Vietnamese saying we never had autism till this man came over and started poking folk. And then you got actually sane people that sitting up here telling me, hey man, you better listen to them folk. I said, man, you can't be from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because in them years, black people didn't even want to take an aspirin. So to listen and look at the show, just go back and look at, they rolled out all these presidents in front of the country. Roll their arm up. Obama, you right there. Yeah, lead your folk right to the fire. And you see it. It's almost like, man, they will get together to pull the wool over your eyes. And even when you get to the end of it and say, didn't I tell you this 2 years ago? You say, I can't believe you because you who you is. It's like we'll never believe us, but we'll believe them every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy. It's like they'll believe I've never had. You know why? I didn't let them folk mess with my immune system. So if you my age and you sickly there, everybody that I know went and took them shots, something different about their body is going on with them that they never had before they took that shot. I got folk losing their eyesight. I got folk losing their hearing. I got folks coming up with some rare form of cancer. I'm just like, bro, and do you understand? Do you even know the history of Fauci? He is the creator of AIDS. So why would I want the creator of AIDS telling me what's good for me? And it's like, for these people to be standing around here, everybody know that it was a hoax. You got young people around here. You could just go on the internet and just look for people who just died suddenly. And young people, anybody that mess with that shot, your heart could just stop. Because that's what it was designed for. It's a bio weapon. It's either going to attack something in your body that's weak, or it's going to induce something from cancer and AIDS. Something is going to happen inside of your bloodstream. And I say, y'all think about this. The whole time the pandemic was going on, you know what the strangest shit to me was? All of a sudden, we got pills for AIDS. All of a sudden, I started seeing these commercials of, man, it ain't so bad to have AIDS no more. We got a pill. Damn, as soon as they kill one thing, they introduce something else.
You know what? You know what?
What?
Because they got to keep the hustle going.
Wow.
The hustle must be maintained at all times. You know, and especially when regards to medicine, anytime there's a hustle going on where people in medicine are making money off a particular product or service, and they bring it to a close.
Yeah.
They have another one already ready to go. And sometimes there's a lapse in coverage, or that there's a lapse in payments. But after a few months, they got the next big thing, because that's why if you look at the medical field, you'll notice that hospitals don't close.
Never.
Emergency centers don't close down.
Never.
If they do, they closing for reconstruction. It's because they take that building fund and go bigger.
Right.
But they're scaling. They're not downsizing. They're scaling. They're always scaling.
Mm-hmm.
We get more and more hospitals, more and more doctors, more and more nurses, more and more medicine, more and more treatments, more and more and more and more and more.
That doesn't fix anything.
It never, ever, ever fixes anything, because the money is in the medicine. It is not in the cure.
And I think I found that out. I moved to California. I got into, the cannabis thing right before the pandemic. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and put this line out. And the pandemic hit, and at the same time, my father called me and was like, "Son, I got cancer. I'm only gonna be here 8 more months. I want you to come home." I left California. I came home. Dad couldn't take a lot of the THC products because he never was a smoker. He was a drinker. So he was like, "Man, this feel crazy. I don't know how y'all do this shit." I'm a drinker, man. So he didn't really like that. So I was like, "Okay, well, try this." And the CBD is what worked on him. So then I started doing my studies with CBD and just looking at like all these natural ways to heal ourselves. And I just started remembering like Big Mama, Grandmama. Like, we ain't go to no doctor. She gave us a big old spoon of castor oil. Like, we ain't go to no doctor. And then, just different things that the older folk did that they didn't go to the doctor a lot. So to watch the CBD actually help him with this cancer thing, I'm like, wow, if this is actually helping him feel better and actually helping him eat, then why Big Pharma don't want this to be in the forefront? And then I said, okay, I'm going to take the same idea. I'm going to go and mocktail all the liquors. Because I'm like, so many of our brothers, they in the alcohol. And then, once you get a certain age, man, you can see that alcohol on you, man. Like, that shit on you. It's in your neck. It's in your skin. It's in everything. So I'm just kind of like, that's not good. Maybe I can help my folks. So I came up with a whole line, Gipp Goodies, where it was like, I mocktail tequila, vodka, bourbon, rum, everything.
Where is it?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, but I want to show it. Did you bring any with you?
I didn't bring
any in the car?
with me. I would bring some. I'm going to send you some because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, man, OG might be like, no, man.
No.
But,
yeah, that's the beauty of being independent.
Yeah.
Ask nobody for permission. The homie want to show what he's working with.
But see, let me tell you about it. I put it out. We put it out. We started putting it in the streets. Big Pharma and Big Liquor turned around and, who is that? You doing that? I woke up in the morning. We're banning everything. I'm like, wow. Every time we get into something, every time we create something that's good for people, it gets banned.
Did they shut you down on social media too?
Yeah, they tried to. Yeah, they really did. I just switched the plays. See, because Gipp was starting to go up into the dome downtown, and I just started seeing the politics behind all of it. It's like, man, America run on a check, man. That's it. America run. They need to know their elbow got to get greased, and that's what I learned.
So, 2 questions. One, where can people purchase? How do they purchase your products now?
Oh, you go on my Instagram. It's kush.com.
Okay.
You can go on kush.com and it comes straight to your house.
Okay, so
it's also about what state you in. Because once they seen what color Gippy was, all the states started changing the rules. See, at one time from Texas all the way back, it was like CBD and CBD products, they didn't care. But once they seen us start to bottle different things up, then all of a sudden I started getting attacked at the distributions, and people started showing up with their lawyers and saying that I was infringing on this or infringing on that. So I said, okay, I shut down everything in Georgia and moved everything to Tennessee. I'm in all 4 states in Tennessee. So it's like to the end of this year, I got to sell that out, and then we're going to flip it over to the cans. So when y'all see these THC products now with 10 milligrams that's coming in the cans, Gipp, we really help that situation happen. So it's like, yeah, by September, I'm going to put the new line out, and that's going to be in about 16, 18 states with Empire.
I know you got a correction to make. You said all 4 states in Tennessee.
I mean all 4 cities.
Yeah, right.
That's Chattanooga, that's Nashville, that's Memphis, and that's Knoxville.
Right, yeah. You said that cannabis worked on your dad. Is he still alive?
No, he left me in 2018.
Okay. How long did he live from the time that you started giving him that?
What was crazy about it, when they called me in California, they said, Gippy, he only got 24 hours. I got on the plane, I got here. When I got here, everybody on his floor was already passed. He was the last one left. I went in, I had some RSO from California, and I just took a whole bunch of it and I just put it in his mouth. He was in so much pain, he was just shaking. And he woke up in the morning, he said, man, I'm hungry. He ate. He said, I want to go home. He went home. He stayed with me another 2 weeks. But I saw the cannabis. I'm like, damn, if I had been able to give him this
sooner,
so much sooner, because I got people around me now. I got one of my mentors, Mr. James. Mr. James had stage 4 cancer. Mr. James bagged that cancer all the way out just by leaving the city, moving to the country, and eating like how we ate when we were kids. No more cancer. So again, that's showing you again that it's the foods we eat, it's the things that we drinking that's causing the different kind of cancers in us, and that's on purpose. So that lets you know too that cancer can be defeated just by knowing how to defeat it, and that's the part that I think Big Pharma has been hiding for years now.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been knowing how to cure cancer.
Yeah.
They
have to, man. When you think about some of the wonderments of the world, you got to say, man, first of all, so they can't cure cancer, but they somehow cured COVID-19. And COVID-19 is killing everybody.
Yeah.
But they came up with a damn cure within 3, 4, 5 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
But cancer still is just lingering like, hey, man, what about me? I mean, is cancer like cancer is almost like the black person of diseases. It's like we gonna cure every damn thing, but cancer's still waiting. Cancer's still waiting to be cured. It's just still waiting. Cancer keep getting overlooked.
And I think that's the reason why they keep us at odds with other countries. I think that's the reason why governments keep populations ignorant to a certain degree, because it's like in Russia, they might got a cure for cancer, but because we ain't cool and we don't want our population to know, we're going to always say hate Russia. We're going to always say hate them people because we can't control what they're going to say to you. So when I look at just different things, I'm like, nah, this is all about money all the way across the board. It's about making people pay into the pot. And as long as they can scare you with some kind of new disease, then they can always have you pay into the pot. Because at the end of the day, most folks from the country ain't never had no health care, and they still live to be 100 years old. So, shit, was health care, was it worth it? Or could they keep all that money they gave them folks? Because if you think about how many people pay into health care, if something happened to you, it's just something gonna happen to you. But that money that you paid, you'll never get that money back, and they never gonna give it to your folk. So what did you pay for? It's all a scam.
Yeah, it's cold-blooded scam, man. Really, all their asses should be locked up. That's why Luigi getting so much love, because these people they make it very difficult for people to live a quality life. Even if you got money, there is so many there's so much temptation out there to get you off your square, where you can call yourself buying good food and all of that stuff, but they're allowing these people to put chemicals in our food. They're mislabeling the food.
Right.
These food companies are running amok,
Right.
and there is little to no oversight, because everybody, all of these people that are tasked with, looking after us and making sure that we are safe, they're getting paid, man. They're getting the money and taking off.
They getting paid and they getting told what not to eat and what not to drink. See, that when people ask what is an elite, what do they mean by that? That means then the people that got all the cheat codes.
Mm-hmm.
They know what not to drink, what's not healthy. They know all the cheat codes. Now you finding out Whole Foods ain't nothing but a bunch of synthetic foods. Ain't never been nothing Whole Foods about it. But somebody got together and said, "Hey man, let's run this scam together. Long as we act like it healthy, they gonna buy it." And I'm like, yeah, but look at this. People can say what they want to say. A lot of times I put up the way we live or the way the elders still live in the country. They're going to break that hog down, man. They're going to rub them things. They're going to cut that fat back, man. They're going to sprinkle. People be like, man, what is all that? I say, man, let me tell you something. That way of living is way cleaner than everything you going to get out that grocery store. And them folk right there, they gonna have a way better health situation than you are. And most of them strong as oxes and gonna live to the end of time. So it's like, for me, when I look at things, I say, it seemed that everything that the elders taught us that was the right way, society has made it to be taboo. Believe me, not the people that raised you. Is what they telling me. And I'm like,
not the people that love you.
Yeah, not the people. Yeah, the people that love me want me to live. The people that don't, they would want to profit. And when you just look at music right now, it's like music can turn into a horror. Just like, it's just like this, OG. It's like, when I heard you say, I'm about to kick your ass through the goalposts of hell, I just sit there, man, that was one of the hardest lyrics. That was like one of the hardest lyrics anybody could say at the time, but you understood it. Like, he just saying, man, don't fuck with him, man, the wrong way. And it's just to listen to what y'all would teach us and what y'all would put in the music. Like, it's like the cleanup man. It like to learn how to deal with certain type of women. We learn from them raps. We learn from them songs. And I think that even when we was trying to be our worst, y'all still taught us something. We still learned from listening to the Ghetto Boys. I learned from listening to NWA. And I think, like I learned listening to Public Enemy. And I think that once these people got in here and said, no, let's change this shit, because when we were kids, when we was just getting into the music business, it was like the music business and the movie business, they were like enemies. Like, oh, we don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with us. And then all of a sudden, it's like, now they enjoying together, and now it's just a pact to be able to run through the youth. It's like, we not here to help. We here to pimp. We here to goddamn slave drive. We here to take, and we here to destroy. And I think that ain't what we got from our music. That ain't what we got. We got learning experiences from rap. And I think rap right now is it's in a place of it's in the wrong hands. And not to be disrespectful and not to be make folk hair stand up. I really do think that it was a plot against the South. It looked like it. It looked like it was a plot against everybody that they couldn't control. Put the police on them, slow them down, till we figure out how to control everybody. And it's like you wake up, just like now, talking to Organized Noise, they were like, bro, what we signed in the 90s ain't the same contracts they signing now. We got $1 for something. They signing for truth, zip, 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 0 point nothing. So when you look at it, it's like, damn, once they realized that we were smarter, we were making better decisions, then it's like, how do you control a bunch of black people with power? Put them in jail. You put the police on them. So when people ask me, when they be like, man, Gipp, why you think? I'm like, just go back and look at that time. Why everybody went to jail? All of a sudden, they were hit artists. Why? Because they knew that it was like, if we don't control this bunch, then we not gonna control the industry. And it's like, in them times, OGs are supposed to teach the youth about the shortcomings and the falls and what not to do. And it seemed like the more and more I came up in the industry, they were trying to separate us from the youth. Like, don't listen to my old nigga, man. Them old nigga, man. They ain't gonna tell you nothing right. Huh? How you not gonna listen to me, shouting? And what they did was they said, how do we beat the respect and love they got for them? How do we get them to change their focus to us? Pay them more than they worth. So what you did at the pandemic, start paying these kids more than what they worth. That was the way to break the relationship between the youth and the elders. Once you give a child millions of dollars, shit, what he gonna tell him?
Okay. I absolutely agree with you that somebody got to the youth, they got to the youth, and they turned the youth on us. And a lot of the youth do not respect the elders. They have zero respect for those who came before them. They don't have no respect for the pioneers, no respect for the people who paved the way, who opened the doors. They have zero respect for that. So we know that somebody got to them. But who got to us?
Who got to us?
Who got to us to make us, the elders, disconnect with the youth? Because I know a lot of elder people, a lot of the older people who disrespect the youth. When they talk about the youth, it's them motherfuckers. It's over. They crashed out. They'll say things like, this generation is cooked, as if the youngsters can't read, as if the youngsters can't hear them talking.
Yeah.
And so my thing is like, to try to get an understanding, if the idea is for us to connect with the youth and for us to join forces, because one is not going to make it without the other, then we should be doing things that are consistent with the objective that we want to achieve, right? And we're not doing that. If somebody, let's say if you have a situation with, you want to check one of your children, right? And you want to put them up on game. The best way for them to receive it is respectfully, right? As opposed to just because you can, how far you think you're going to get with that? And I think that our elders have been disrespectful oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes our elders have been disrespectful in their approach to communicating with the youth.
I think the approach is because I think it became a time where the parents and the grandparents got younger. And I see that a lot of these kids, the difference between my relationship with my parents and my grandparents is that I was never their friend. And I think that it's been a 10-year, 15-year lifespan that I think that these kids that came up more they friends with their parents than being actual kids and parents. And I think that's where the difference came in between us and them. We had to respect elders, and you was gonna respect elders. I think in this time of day, the internet has destroyed the relationship between the child and the parent, because the internet has educated and given the child a TV into life that his parents might not have told him about or educated him about. And it kind of gives the child a false sense of being grown. And they'll turn around and challenge their elders because they're able to get this information out this telephone. But what I tell the youth is that even though money gives you power and a sense of presence, your elders can give you the blueprint of what life is and the mistakes of life. That don't change. You know, I understand when you go around and you see older cats hanging with younger cats, talking about that's my big homie. Like, the fuck? like the fuck, bro? Like, I don't care how much money I ever could have made, bro. My daddy would not take no money from me. I raised you. You don't owe me nothing. So when I hear when parents was, yo, you made some money, you owe me, my daddy taught me he ain't owe me nothing. I ain't had to come here. You had to take care of your parents. Hey man, I leave. Your job is to take care of your mama. Once she leave, you can do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was his last words. To me, that's structure. You know what I mean? That's structure. And just because you see these older people, they've made society where it's all about the money. It's all about the money. And if you got the money, you got the power. If you got money and he 50, he ain't got no money, he ain't worth nothing. You ain't got to listen to him. That's the illusion of money. Because, bruh, but we got in the 20s, a lot of time we gonna bun it. We gonna bun it. And I'm looking at y'all like, hey man, y'all going through millions like we went through thousands. You will never get that money back. At least I know, hey man, I own all my publishing. When we did our first album, we did it in Curtis Mayfield house. Right before he left, he came to the house one day, seen us recording. He said, come here, Gipp. He said he walked in the dressing room, in his bedroom in the house. He said, you see all the reels up there? I said, yeah. He said, them all the original reels from Superfly. I keep them with me. He said, Gipp, you don't never sell to them people till you're ready to walk away. And when you walk away, you got some mailbox money.
Where was the reels hanging?
In his bedroom. Then he took me into his closet and he said, hey man, I want you to have something. And he gave me a sweatsuit. And that's the sweatsuit I wore on Soul Food on the cover. So I've only been directed by the elders to move a certain way. So when I got in the door, I mean, we had our first, we in New York City, we were L.A. Reid, Babyface, everybody. They were like, God damn it, Goody Mobbin went number one. And we were like, yeah. And we got up there in L.A., was like, how you feel? I said, I feel good. I fuck with you, but I'm with Organized North. He was like, huh? But it was just me always being so loyal to what I am. Like, they looked out for me. I'm with you, OG, but I just gotta let you know, like, shit, I'm with Reek, Pat, and Ray. You know what I mean? That I'm not here to be on nobody's team but the one that brought me. I understand now, 30 years later, that was stupid, yeah.
You've been fiercely loyal to your team. You know, Goody Mob. You know, Dungeon Family. But you have collaborated with other artists, many other artists. In fact, one of your most notable collabs was with Ali.
Yeah.
How did that collab come about?
Man, big bro, like going through a divorce, man. Going through a divorce and being here in Atlanta and almost got there doing something to somebody the wrong way, get into it with the police and got a warrant. Went on the run. Like, man, I'm going to LA. I ain't dealing with this shit right now. Go to LA and I'm just walking around killing time. And Ali rolled up like, Gipp. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, get in the car. He was like, man, we love y'all, man. Like, man, we love y'all, bro. Bro, St. Louis, we the goody mob. St. Louis, that's it. We the goody mob, St. Louis. I'm taking you to see Nelly. He took me to see Nelly on Sunset. Nelly got one of them mansions up on the Duhaney on Sunset up in the hill. We go see him. I didn't leave there for 2 days, and we recorded 4 songs. And Nelly was like, shit, you going with us. I went on the road and with them for 5 years. I sold what? The Dirty NT, compilation album went gold. I was on Nelly Sweatsuit. That went 8 million. Me and Ali went 350,000. Grill sold 9 million records. It gave me a whole new life. I mean, it rejuvenated me, man, because you get tired. After that 10th year, you get tired. Atlanta, we didn't have no competition for so long. Like, it was nothing like, you got Outkast, you got Goody Mob. You say one, it's the other. So it's like a 20-year run. Like, no, we got tired of the best live performances. We whooping everything from up top to we're whooping everything on stage. Ain't nothing playing with us. I watched everybody from all the greats stand on the side of the stage and know, like, man, them bunch of niggas there, man, they dress funny, but they hit records. And we always knew, like, man, like, we gon' stand on this South shit. We gon' make you have to respect this shit. And I think it made, after you do 10 years in this thing and the lifestyle, you get tiresome. And got married, got divorced, went on the road with Nelly for 5 years, went around the world with him. Hadn't seen CeeLo in 5 years because what people don't know is that we were working on the Goody Mob album way before people even understood that we had made amends from, the last album that he wasn't on,
Yeah, I was about to ask you about the guys' reactions. How did Timo, Cujo, and CeeLo feel about you going to make that record with Ali?
I think it wasn't even a question because it started with Low first. It was like we was in the studio, we working on Goody Mob, and we were like, yo, let's go ahead and do this Goody Mob album. And Danger Mouse sent Low these tracks. Mm-hmm. Low heard this track. He said, man, let me just go in here and scratch some shit I got. He went in there and did Crazy straight down. We didn't think nothing of it. It just wasn't nothing but me, him, and probably Hank at the studio late. He sent it back overseas to Danger Mouse. I woke up in the morning, he called me, he said, Gipp, I gotta go. I said, what wrong? He said, man, I gotta go to London. Danger Mouse went to BBC and played that record on the radio. It's a smash. I'm about to go. I ain't see Low again for 5 years.
Shit, I know that's right. Low like, shit, I'm gonna go get this. I'm gonna take this and run, man. But that was incredible. That was incredible to see him doing that. What he did though is that he made other artists think outside of the box.
Yeah.
He let other artists know that you don't have to be just do this. You don't have to be this, just this.
Yeah.
If you want to goddamn sing, if you want to do some pop, if you want to do some rock, whatever you want to do, it just kind of opened up things more. It opened up more lanes for other artists.
It really did. And again, it showed, the talent. It showed, and it was a trip. 5 years go by. I'm everywhere with Nelly. He everywhere with Danger Mouse. We get to the BMI Awards. This is the first time we seen each other in 5 years. He walked up and fixed my tie. Hey, big bro, get your tie right. First time I seen him. And after that, we met again at the Grammys. He was up for a Grammy for Crazy, and I was up for a Grammy for Grills. You already know Texas took it home. Mm-hmm. Texas took it home. And that night, that boy had me on the floor. I said, Jesus, damn it. So, hey, man, Chameleon, I love you, baby, but you had my heart in my boots that night.
That was some stiff competition.
Yeah, it was, man. He came out Hey man, that record. I see you rolling. Hey man, that was a big record, man. I watched that record go from him to just a Houston thing to a pop thing, and then Weird Al Yankovic jumped on it and did his thing. I said, hey man, can't really do nothing but take your hats off, man. And yeah, man. But if I had a Texas boy with me, I had Power Wall with me, so I was like, bust out, he can't be Power Wall. Let give me in, Nelly. And he did it. He did it that night. It was had me sad walking out the Grammys. But it was good, I was like, hey man, we really changed the world with Grills, with Paul, and mixing Atlanta, St. Louis, and Houston together as one. That was a powerful record, and to watch what it did for us at the time, it really put everybody in lights. And I got so much love for Ali. Ali came and got Gipp when I was in a change in state. I fell out of love with music, fell out of love with love. And I just needed something new. I needed a new experience, man. I got around them boys and went cold turkey, didn't smoke nothing, didn't do nothing, man. Just like, man, I got to get my mind right. And man, caught a new deal with Sylvia Rome. She signed us, and the godmother always been good, to us. And man, we did that. Got back with the Goody Mob. Nelly was the first to put us back on stage together right here in Atlanta at the Tabernacle. First time we stepped back on stage together after 10 years of being apart. So, the St. Lunatics put the Goody Mob back together. Now I got to help the St. Lunatics do their thing. So it's like, for me personally, like St. Louis became a home for me, and then I moved to LA, and I got to live in LA and live there for 5 years. I lived in LA probably 10 years. And but after the pandemic, man, I came back home, and I got just rejuvenated with everything that was going on at home. And that's when I think my cousin, Sky Watley, he started telling Gipp about this music, this new music that was going on. He was like, cuz, you been gone for a minute, you might need to come down to the family and see the family. And I showed up down in Yorkville, and I got to see my family. I got to see what normal people look like again. Being out in the field, like, bro, it's the trail ride. And we got the horses out, we got the camels out, we got the old folk out here on moonshine. And we doing everything the country folk do, and we got a stage set up. Watch this shit, cuz. And I sat there that day, and I watched this whole new genre of music. And cuz, like, remember that shit, like Johnny Taylor and stuff like that, Daddy used to listen to. I'm like, yeah. He said, this it. It's just a new. So, man, I was introduced to this new genre, Southern Soul. Cuz like this blues, trail ride, and this everything mixed together. But it's different compartments. So, man, the first thing he did, he brought me this record called Auntie Love. Man, I got down. And we've been out here for 2 years pushing Auntie Love. And then we just dropped a new record with Sky Watley, Cupid, and Gipp. And I'm just ecstatic right now, because now I feel like a brand new artist again, because music in this space feels like the music was how hip-hop used to feel when we were kids. Hip-hop was for everybody. Everybody, you seen the old folk dance to Slick Rick and Dana Dane, and everybody having fun, and I think just the first time that I think that I can look at a genre and say, damn, it's pure. It ain't been touched. But at the same time, I'm knowing this the way we grow up in country folk. This is what we do. This is the weekend thing at the church. Go sit in the field and do our thing. But now to just watch, I guess the genre started really moving during the pandemic, because I guess that's when everybody started finding artists like King George and Sir Charles and these artists that really had, catalogs of this music. And it just seemed like the more and more you get into it and the more you hear in Mississippi, you hear in Louisiana, you hear in Texas, you hear in South Carolina, now you hear in Georgia, now you see in Atlanta, because Cuz was always like, hey man, if we can get Atlanta in the Southern Soul, the genre is gonna grow. And I think, his prediction has been all the way right, because this last weekend, Dukes and Boots, 40,000 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and not a fight in the air, not aggression in the air, nothing but pure fun from them. People started lining up 9 o'clock in the morning and didn't leave at probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's what I remember about hip hop. That's what I remember about just music, R&B music as a kid. Listen to, I tell people all the time, man, there wasn't no genres of music. It was like, shit, Channel 17, the wrestling go off, that shit go to night tracks. You're gonna have Simply Red, you're gonna have everything that was pop was our music. It wasn't no genres. It was just like, that's pop music, that's good music. And I think that's what Southern Soul gives me. It gives me another chance to just enjoy music and it not be directed in nothing but good living and life. And I think rap right now, when you look at it, it's like, shit, these folk been out here paying these kids to slide for 5 years. They're like, they telling them, get some money, put a mask on, shoot some, boy, I'm gonna come through there with a check. And that's what's been happening. I mean, it just seems like our worst gets rewarded. Our best gets silenced. And that's the problem. And that's where we are as a society.
So how do we change it?
Listen to those that don't fit in. Everybody that fit in, that ain't who you're supposed to listen to. You're supposed to listen to the person that's willing to die about anything that he stand on. Because anybody that can flip-flop you by the morning, he ain't really believe it. He ain't believe the lesson. So when people be like, yo, Gipp, you sound like this, I say I sound like a person that don't listen to everything that I'm told. And I sound like a person that understands that one thing I learned out of life, attack the unguarded. When you attack the unguarded, you stand alone. Southern Soul right now is if you look at the genre of music, if you look at the culture, this is true Southern Black people culture. I tell people all the time, I never grew up with no other nationality but white people. I never even seen white people in my school. I never went to school with white people. I never felt like I was a minority. And I never felt like I should care for somebody more than I care for myself. I think that's the trick of coming up in a city with a whole bunch of people. They tell you to care about other folk, not yourself. So you wind up being on the bottom and everybody standing on your shoulders. See, one thing about country folk, hey man, we ain't gonna pay nobody to do it. We gonna do it. The house need to get painted, we gonna paint it. The crops need to get picked, we gonna pick them. But I ain't got only thing waiting on a man that lays is nothing. So for me personally, I'm never gonna teach you to want to be a victim. Never gonna teach you to want to look for a handout, because I don't care. As a kid, every part of and every level of me growing up, mom and daddy had rules and regulations. So even if I had a car, or even if I had a bike, hey man, you better wash them dishes and cut my grass before you go handle your business. But we got problems. And I think when you got this society, or where you come out of the pandemic and you listen to kids telling you him, her, him, and them, and whatever, and I'm supposed to listen to a child. Do y'all understand that a rich kid from the UK made up all that shit that these kids doing? Another child made up all these pronouns that grown folk filing. Now, I don't know about y'all, but you know, a boy always been a boy and a girl always been a girl. And whenever you tell me that somebody could be something that I know they ain't, that's telling me to tell me that don't believe your eyes. Shit, just listen. Now that to me, that's the most deceitful place you could be in life.
What's your thoughts on Elon Musk and his third party? What did he say the name of that third party is?
Shit.
The People's Party or something?
Yeah,
Something he
the
started.
computer people. That's what they better name it.
I mean, what's your thoughts on him starting that third party and out of discontent for the MAGA movement and the Republicans, and as far as where Donald Trump is taking it?
I think everything that these people doing, the last administration is damn near almost to blame. You can't keep pushing people to a place of no return. You can't keep changing the rules of what life's supposed to be to fit for a small group of people and expect everybody else to follow the small group of people. So when you had, when I tell people, I say, go back to the last administration. Now we know Biden was crazy as hell. He was in the house. He was never nowhere. He had papers in his house just like Trump had papers in his house. Cocaine got found in the White House on their side. How'd that get there? They covered that up. So you got to look at all the things that's wrong on this side. The people came in and said, okay, y'all tried y'all play, now we're going to do our play. What makes me a Republican? Because I can tell you that, hey, man, y'all push these folk too far, man. Now these folk here, they on a rampage. They going to do what they want to do. Then y'all just do what y'all want to do.
Well, by that logic, you could also say that the previous administration scooped up the mess from the administration that came before them, which was Trump.
Right.
In his first term.
But see, I look at it like this. This shit all started with Clinton. It's been going on. Started with Clinton. Bush them stole the election they took it from Gore. Well, they did that right in front of everybody in the 90s.
But
So
Clinton can say that Bush won. It started with Bush won.
Right. So if you look, they've been stealing.
They just been swapping, man. They both been fucking up,
it's
man.
The same
it's
folk.
like,
yeah. So when you look at it, it's like, hey man, check this out. These folks are controlled by other people's money. When I see black people sit here and tell me about Israel before they talk about me, I already know you bought off.
Or Africa.
I already know you bought off. I already know somebody else money paying for you. Because, bro, if you grew up here, what you talking about somebody else for? To be in office. To govern me. So when I look at different things, it's just very plain now when it wasn't when we were kids. It wasn't this much technology. It wasn't this much news outlets. But now it's just plain and simple to me is that everything's scripted. Everything is a lie. What you think it is, it's not. Since a kid, people been telling me to hate Russia. I ain't never been to Russia. Why I hate somebody I don't even know? That's for somebody else's benefit. But at the same time, you telling me to hate Russia, you telling people that's coming into this country, hey man, don't fuck with the black people, man. We don't fuck with them. Now, then tell me where it makes sense. Where I go into my neighborhood, Arab treat me like, boy, second-rate citizen. Cause, hey man, y'all people crazy, man. Y'all come in shirt off, talking loud, man. Y'all abundance on, shoes off, man. Y'all just like what them folk told us, man. How do I defend that? When I know that most of the kids out here ain't been raised right. But you got people and sects that's coming into America that's religiously different than us. We gotta understand that. And we have to understand it from a point. It's like, yeah, bro, like I feel you. Okay, if this man right here can't do what the fuck he want to do, what you thought Kamala was gonna do? If you think that they were gonna let a black woman tell these folk what to do, you out your goddamn mind. Like, you a fool to believe that, California. If you thought the black lady that's an Indian lady were gonna tell the D folk what to do with America. No. So stop that illusion. Stop that illusion. Thinking that the black lady gonna come in here and just make everything right. Like, please, they were gonna put a muzzle on her, sit over here and say, shut up. We run this. And you can't even see half the shit that's going on because you're not bloodline. That's what people don't understand either. Most of the presidents that's been presidents have all been related, but two. Trump is one of them. Mr. Obama is related to Bushes and everything else back down the line. So guess what? What was Obama? A prop. He was somebody to make y'all feel great while we change your reality. Look at the symbolism. But when you look down, it's like, damn, did we get stronger or did we get weaker? Because they made women feel like males. Like we could, y'all, yeah, the men go sit down and we gonna take care of it. Man, look here, man. I remember when the males were together when I was coming up, boy, the women walk in the room, the males would stop talking and be like, what, you need something? We don't do that. Women don't be in man business. Man don't be in woman business. So when did all of a sudden society become where the black men are the weakest motherfuckers in the room? And our women supposed to be the strongest and who gonna take care of the business. Look at America right now. All the black folks that tried to go against this man, put this man in jail, they all got cases. Now watch, black people, y'all all gonna go to jail or get in trouble, and the people that gave you the money to stand out there and do all that foolishness, they gonna sit in the back and be like, boy, we don't even know them folks. Now, you look at Jasmine Crockett. Baby girl, you from St. Louis. You went to a great school, your parents had money. But then you get on TV and you talk like you came from forward over here. Like, what they pay us to be are clowns most of the time in those situations. Because look, you went out here and did all that bitching and talking loud, and then you get in the room and them folks say, man, we ain't voting for that, bro. We ain't voting for that. That should make you feel bad.
What clowning did you see Jasmine Crockett exhibit?
To me, when you get on those kind of committees and think that you're going to talk to them people like that, knowing that at the end of the day, you ain't nothing but the front. And now you get to see that, hey man, even if she was the greatest thing in the world, and even you thought she said everything right, what did her own party let her know at the end of the day? No, sir. Put you in power? Well, you could tell us what to do in any kind of way? Nah.
Yeah, but that says more about the Democratic Party than it says about her.
Right.
Yeah, because but I saw something even in the Harris County Democratic Party over this last election cycle that low down, dirty low down, dirty. I'm gonna tell you this is one of the biggest things that I learned, that they are cool with black people holding those seats as long as they can control them. Right. If they can control you, they're straight. But if they can't control you, they will not support you. They will put a candidate in place to run against you. And if they can't put somebody in there to run against you, because sometimes these candidates are so strong, nobody in their party can beat them. Nobody in their party can beat them. So what happened is they will quietly support your opponent from the other party.
Right.
Your white opponent.
Right.
From the other party. I'm talking about the Democratic Party.
Right.
And it's not just the one in Harris County. It's all across.
It's all across the board.
It's all across the country. They don't mind you being in that seat if they can control you.
Right.
And If you just look like you working for the black folks and talking that talk, that's cool, it's cool. But when the rubber meet the road and it's time for some real change, you're going too far now, damn it. You know how we get down over here. We do status quo over here. We don't do change. We do status quo.
And you right, OG, and that's why I say when you look, like Joy Reid was on TV the other day, she was like, bro, I'm thinking about leaving the Democrat Party. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's when you calling me a Republican, bro, I'm not a Republican. I'm a independent that's trying to tell you that, hey man, where we are right now is not gonna work for us anymore, guys. If you're talking about strong togetherness, that's not what they looking for, guys. That's not what they looking for. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm saying, hey, bro, why does it look like Fannie Willis, the lady up there in New York, tried to protect the man? She got charges. Everybody that's going, hey, man, Karen Bass, she gonna wind up locked up too. She gonna wind up locked up. Somebody is gonna be the example. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, don't y'all know this systematic? This systematic for a party to act like they fuck with you, but really they don't fuck with you. They fuck with feminine behavior, women, and they fuck with their money and their country. And if you look at it, why is all these black folks talking about a country they never been to? And why would you come back and say that you got anything good to me to say? But everybody black that they have put in position of power, even Obama himself in the White House, and you still can't say, I directly want to do something for my people. But Israel can come over here and say they can do something directly for their people. The Ukrainians can do something directly for their people. The Mexicans, they can do something directly for them. But can't nobody do nothing for us. So until somebody sitting on the Democrat or the Republican say they can do something for me, I don't believe none of it. It's bullshit at this point.
And this is why when I criticize the Democratic Party, I try to make sure that people understand that I'm not criticizing them to give praise to the Republican Party, because we know that black folks have been loyalists to the Democratic Party for the last 6-7 decades, right? But the thing is that the Democratic Party has not been loyalist to the black community. And with that said, the Republicans say they want the black vote. Hey, come over here, get off the Democratic plantation. But they don't bring anything to the table either. So in my opinion, if you're a Republican and you want black folks to have some type of mass exodus to leave the Democratic plantation, all you got to do is give us something. Give us reparations, and you'll see the Republicans will run the table, because that's what we want. We want reparations. We want to end, qualified immunity for police officers. We want we want those funds to be redirected to our neighborhood so that we can have those social services be distributed to the people that are in need in our communities. Like, there are things that the Republican Party can do to prove that they're different from the Democrats, not just talking, but everything that has ever happened adversely to the black community has happened on the Republicans' watch or the Democrats' watch. That means that every single time we faced an atrocity, we faced any type of downturn, any type of any type of chaos. The Republicans was in office, and the Democrats watched it happen, or the Democrats were in office and the Republicans watched it happen.
Right.
Neither one of these bastards are for us. Point blank.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Yeah.
So I do agree that we need to abandon identity politics and let's go for
policy.
Let's go for policy. Let's practice policy over party. I think that'll be a lot more beneficial to us.
I think so too, and I think this. I have to always say this, and I look at the blue states now. And they did, I mean, Chicago, crazy, bro. Like, why Obama ain't out there cleaning up his city? We've been watching Farrakhan out here putting it down for us for 30, 40 years now. Won't nobody go help him. The ones that get in power, once they get them other people money, they can't really play with nobody to help nobody for real. And then when you just look at where we are now, if people ain't gonna educate themselves somewhere else besides what they see in front of them, then they programmed to only do one thing, and that's just to live to die. That's what they want more of out here, is just more of us to live to die that's not gonna ask questions. Just like now, I would never say that. I got a mother that I take care of. I ain't got nothing against the sisters and strong women. I love all strong women. My big mama and watched all that. But I also know what it is to have a strong father. And I also know what it is to come from a city where you watch a mayor like Maynard Jackson say, hey, bro, we're going to build an airport. We're going to cut black people in 30% of any business come out of this airport till it ain't here no more. That's what makes Atlanta stronger than any other black city, is because 30% of that business go on in that Hartsville, black families, generational wealth. I know people out there got 16, 17 businesses, billionaires. You'll never know their name or nothing. But because a black man said, hey man, I'm gonna do something for my people, that's why Atlanta is what Atlanta is. So everything outside Atlanta, I look at it as bullshit, because you didn't do nothing for your people. You didn't do nothing for your people. You over here, you was Indian, then you turned black. That's cool. That's cool, but I'm just saying that I can right now say, I watched what Shirley Franklin, a powerful black woman, come in and do for Atlanta. I watched Keisha Bottoms come in and take care of Atlanta. Now I'm watching Mayor Andre take care of Atlanta. You watch Gipp, when they first came down here, when Trump them first came down and started playing with them, man, they sent Trump them folks up out of here. Hey man, we not listening to y'all with that goddamn up north ass shit, man. Get up out of here with that shit. So you gotta understand, I watched Gipp say, hey man, we ain't with that shit, Trump. You can go on back home, buddy. We ain't doing that. So I can look at Atlanta and say they snatched away the World Series because they ain't want to do what they say. Oh, he ain't gonna do what we say. We gonna start snatching stuff. Now the World Series and everything coming back to Atlanta. You snatched that away because personally you couldn't make a Southern boy do what you say. See, when I see that on all ends, like, okay, they tried to tell the black folk what to do. They came out here tried to tell the white folk what to do. Nope, that's why you got a Marjorie Green. Why you got a Marjorie Green from Georgia out the rural area just gonna come and say, hey man, okay, so we ain't gonna talk about the Epstein. Now the Epstein didn't happen. We ain't gonna talk about all these grown folk in office and around here like to have sex with kids and all this freaky shit going on. Y'all don't wanna talk about it? Okay, well shit, it's time for us to goddamn lead the mega party too. So you gotta understand, everybody who is about truth is being faced with, hey man, everybody got to do what they say when you get to a certain level. Trump in order. You got to do what they say. Then you got to go over there to Israel. You got to do all the stuff. You got to put the little hat on. Hey, man. So now you got people that you personally liked in your circumference. Now they looking at you like, bro, you a sellout, bro. You lying there. You just like Larry Buddy. You just like Biden. You lying. So when are we as American people going to say, hey, man, get what? We need to just start doing us, because all this believing in these folk put their pants on just like you. And one thing that we just got to deal with America, and I can show you, it's in everything. It's like everything has broken down to only a few can win while everybody else suffer. And that's everything. Like looking at what they doing to just Dion's sons. Like, oh, your daddy talk too much. No, we can't have that around here. Yeah, we could have made some money with you, but man, we're going to send you on over there to CFL, man. Go over there with that shit, man. We don't want no black man down here talking to us like we don't know what we talking about. They always can show you that. I don't care how much money you get, we can always do you just like that. We can always push you right out the room. Okay, LeBron, you ain't gonna do what we say. Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. We don't care nothing about that. This shit gonna roll whether you here or not, buddy. With the music business, somebody had to go sit down with two individuals and say, hey, man, we can't control the rest of these niggas out here. But you two guys, we mess with you two guys. So we gonna give y'all the money. Y'all gonna walk around this industry and take everybody's shit, put it under y'all. We fucking with y'all. Somebody had this conversation with these dudes. And they've been able to walk around and do shit that we've never seen in the history of music. You can just go over to another man's house. Hey, man, I like your artist. Hey, man, in the morning, he with him. Huh? Who gave these folks this kind of power? Okay, this been going on since what, 95? But ain't had no real big artists. How he run around here and get 100 million from all these folks? But then Jay Prince them and everybody else who's still making music, still got new artists, baby them. You talking about these guys. How? So when you look at just the dynamics of how things is, you like, bruh, somebody told these folk, man. Hey, man, y'all two folk, y'all gonna run out all the niggas. Huh? For real? And then they walk around like they gonna do it.
Let's go back. Let's go back to Atlanta mayors. Atlanta mayors, to their credit, have done some great things for the city. But one thing that they have not done that has been great to me is they have not been able to stop these police officers from killing black folks with impunity. So how do you reconcile them being that great? They can help you get some money.
I think
they've helped black people get money, but what about quality of life outside of getting money? Because you got all this money, but you still can get your head knocked off.
Let's be real. When these things happen, they happen in certain areas. Okay, talk about the police thing. Anything that's down here in the city gonna get investigated. Anything, once you get out Cobb County, Marietta, that ain't Atlanta. See, that's what you got to the illusion of Atlanta is that black folk run the city. Yeah. But the rural areas, Georgia, they're run by the same folk. See, what people don't understand about the special thing about Georgia, each county, they say Marietta, they say Calhoun, they say Decatur. What y'all don't realize about Georgia is Fulton County, Fulton. What you don't realize about Georgia is that one time, those were family names. Those were families. Every LaGrange, that was LaGrange family. Valdosta, that was the Valdosta family. And these people still here, and their lineage is still here. So when you get in certain counties and certain places, yeah, they police forces is a certain way. They went to the service, got motherfucker came back from the wars, and they a little ticked off, and they say, protect all the white folks in this area. Anything come over here, get to it, get on it like a bone. Yeah, but at the same time, you see, they go and they fuck with Thug. Thug would have been railroaded if he was in any other city. He would have went to jail. They would have railroaded him. But because you got people in power here, you got the old guard, Andrew Young, still here. They can step down and say, hey, bro, man, you can do what you want to do. We ain't going to do no bullshit, though. And we're going to handle it the right way. If it's going to be something that's going to go on, everybody get to see the paperwork. Everybody get to see it. So you got to understand, once everybody get to see it, man, y'all bullshit, man. Y'all coming in here with that bullshit, man, trying to put charges on people, buying people off. We ain't going for that shit right here, man. Go on up out here, man. Hey, boy, go home. That's the difference of Atlanta that you ain't going to get nowhere else. That's why it's heaven on earth for a black man to understand rules and regulations and family. You safe. But hey, man, you go to any other city, man, how they railroad black folk, man, that shit ain't happening here. Because you got mayors that can step out their house and be like, hey, bro, we still in Fulton County. We still on Cascade. Hey, man, hey, Andrew Young, we'll make a call. See, when you got elders like that, I don't know. See, I tell people all the time, in Atlanta, the streets ain't never ran, the streets ain't never ran the city. The jail ain't never ran the streets because people like, hey man, Jose Williams. You got real OG gangster out here. They not letting nobody, you sell crack, nigga, go over there. You do that, go over there. But if you look at how Atlanta was set up, you go to LA, the streets run the street, the jails run the street. You might go to Texas, the jail might run the, not here. It's never been like that.
No, the streets run, the police and the courts,
Yeah.
the system run the streets. The law enforcement run the streets, just like they do in every other damn county in this country. The streets don't run jack because I don't care how big and bad you are. I don't care how many bodies you got. When them folks pull up with them cuffs, you quietly go with them, or they gun your ass down like a dog in the streets. But you going with them one way or the other. They're gonna take your body warm or cold.
So OG, when I look at TV and you look at can bands and you look at these folk run down on these marijuana farms, they find 14-year-old kids with no parents, no nothing, working, illegal immigrants working. Then you got public officials jumping on TV saying ain't nothing wrong with it. That's when the rules and everything about reality goes out the window. It's like, okay, wait a minute. If I walked in the store right now and seen a 14-year-old behind the counter, and I know anywhere else in America, that's against the law. But out there in California, it's cool, because they say it's cool. But really, let's look at the real thing, y'all. Rich people in California said, oh man, look at the little migrants. Well, let's figure out all these jobs they can do for us so we can act rich and elite. Black people, all they care about is gangbanging, so we just put them over here in the corner. But the Mexican community, we're gonna let them come in, set up their taco stand that might be illegal anywhere else. Black people get out there and start cooking some shit, they gonna pull up. You ain't got no license, they gonna pull up. But now you watch where they've helped create a subculture. And now that everybody can see it, they gotta protect it. But it's protected because they getting paid. And that goes right back to the 90s. Drugs in the black community. It was protected as long as they were getting their check. Soon as they don't get them checks, send the police down there and lock them niggas up. So when you look at it, it's like everything in America is okay until too many people find out. So that means it's fine
Too
to
many
have,
black people find
too
out.
many black folk find out. Then
Yeah.
it's change the rules. We can't do that no more. No, that was a scam only for us. And then you look at it now, you like, damn, like you actually got a black woman on TV defending something that's supposed to be illegal. So you kind of like, hey man, you know, how far does the deception go at this point? Because now they've used this identity politics, skin folks, same folks. You know, you're looking at what's going on down there in New Orleans. They say, Gipp, we got a problem. What's the problem? Hey man, these folk has sold it to these other folk. These other folk bringing their folk in from wherever they coming from, coming into our neighborhood, telling us now we can't do what we usually was doing. We helped build this Essence Awards. Our community, our way of life helped put the juice on this shit. Now we can't do nothing because now some more owners that's supposed to look like us, but they whole staff don't look like them, but they go out into the community and tell everybody you can't do this and can't do that. You can't make no more money. You can't do nothing. You got contests, jambalaya against this. It's like, man, you coming into somebody's neighborhood and you setting it up like it's us against you. And because black people can see the scam, come on, man. Just because we can see somebody run a game and we say something about it, don't make us wrong. No, it don't make us wrong because we can say, hey, man, y'all trying to hit a lick and we ain't slow. We can see. So, yeah, you can say, yeah, the Essence Fest is good. But then people also got a right to say, hey, bro, you still got to cut the hood in. You still got to let these mom and pop stores. I go to New Orleans to get the po' boy. I don't come there to buy what you talking about. So you telling these folk they can't sell what they can sell no more while your event going on. That's disrespectful to the culture, that's disrespectful to the city, and damn your corporate shit. It's like, what is that? That ain't nothing to the community to help build something. And if it's getting worse and the people outside your doors complaining, that means you're doing something wrong. Not the poor people because they voice is wrong. No. And for the people who there, it's like, oh man, we falling for the same old black and divide. Hey, bro, check this out, man. I don't know nobody from overseas if I ain't grow up with them. Just like don't nobody know me. But I know when somebody coming in and playing with me. We've been through emotionally as a community, we've been through so much since the pandemic. Everybody telling us this, you got to get a job, you got to get poked, you're going to get sick, you're going to die. It's like they just been selling fear. And because a man don't buy fear, you the enemy. I don't buy fear. I don't buy fear. My father say, hey man, death ain't nothing. He say, son, I know you're going to miss me, but just keep on living. You'll be all right. And when you live like that, it's like, man, I'm not going to listen to a whole bunch of folk get up every morning talking about, oh, Lord, we scared. We in trouble. Oh, Lord, I'm so scared for us. Why? Black folk ain't been through the worst. And people in the South, bruh, hey, man, we've been through the worst. Remember, our parents and our grandparents, they didn't go nowhere. They sat right here with the Klan. They sat here right here with anybody that wanted to do something and still raised these families and still got them made a legacy for us. So, hey man, I'm not from the crew that was the runners. I'm from the stayers. And the stayers say, hey man, they show up in that driveway. We're gonna deal with it. It's just like me growing up. I was the city boy. I get dropped off in the country. Man, my cousin get into it with some white boy at the football game. They big Klan. You know, in the 80s, Klan gonna pull up. Klan pulled up. My grandma went right there, she said, man, everybody get a gun. Everybody get a gun, from the smallest to the oldest. Y'all get off them truck, come my yard. I hope you got another life to go to. That's how I was raised. We not scared of no Klan. We gonna deal with the Klan. That's how Big Mama was. She had sitting there with a double barrel shotgun, loaded twice. On the porch. Hey man, we got any problems? And the next day, them folk found out who they pulled up on. They family came around there to see Big Mama and brought her a big turtle. We saw it, Miss Helen. That when I learned respect. If you show people you ain't scared, man, they run back down. They run away with their tail. But if you around here, you got all these men on social media. I'm scared. I'm tired. We scared. What the fuck is y'all talking about, man?
Man, I'm still. Did you say turtle?
Yeah.
They brought your Big Mama a turtle.
Yeah, King Turtle.
Well, what the turtle was supposed to do? Well, it's
it was
a peace offering.
It was a peace offering saying, you know, them the youngins, you know, they don't know who they messing with.
Yeah.
And that, because you got in the hills and in them places, they know. There's certain people you don't play with. I don't care what color you is. They gonna do it. So even with them understanding that our kid, that my cousin Eric got into it with one of their kids, and one of these folk must be one of the grand clansmen. But then they understand my family, and they understand their lineage. So it's almost like, we don't have no problem with them. We're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing country people do. So when I just sit on the gram and I see all these city folk and all these men being like they scared, what you scared of? What you scared of, all these feminine men? If these folks start dropping out of the sky with guns, y'all gonna learn how to be a man real fast. It ain't gonna be nothing about no person looking good. You're gonna have to survive. Me personally, I grew up hunting. I can hunt. I can shoot moving targets. If you put me in the woods, I can survive. That's what you need to be more about. Because if you look at it, if anything happened in the city, that's what I learned about the pandemic. I said, look, when everything stopped moving, the city became cold concrete. And the country became heaven.
Man, I heard you say that Luda, when he went to New York, he lost some respect in Atlanta. Can you expound on that?
not Luda losing respect. I think Luda is one of the greatest lyricists that Atlanta got. I just think that people didn't give him the respect that he do because of the way he projected his art. I think Luda is one of the best, one of the clearest rappers ever.
Yeah, he is. What I'm trying to figure out, like, because I was just listening to Luda yesterday, like, he's easily one of the best to ever do it. But like, I'm like, what did I miss when you said that he lost some respect in Atlanta? Like, did I miss something?
Well, not really respect. It's just that I think that nobody ever, because when I look at it like this for real, I think beside Outkast, Ludacris and Shaka had the best run besides Outkast. Like, they understood radio off top. Shaka, being from New York, understood how to speak to the record company and to the radio. They had him, being that he was on the radio, he had a great understanding of how to project yourself, how to be in front of the mic, how to carry yourself, what they expected on the other end. When we, being the artists, we didn't know what the rules and regulations was and what was bad, what was considered bad or right. So, you know, we come in high, but he never presented himself like that because he was always from the radio side. So I think what it is, not that he lost any respect. I just think that the game don't respect him like they should. Because if you look at the records that he sold and where he is when he does his music, hey man, he had top, you know, he had class A shit. I mean, the boy got a plane. I mean, so it's like, no. It's just that I just think that him being such a lyricist and also a punchline artist, I think you don't give him the credit of also being a great writer. A great, he understood his audience and he understood how to capture what he was doing. Like to walk outside with the big shoes on, like that was dope. To have the big arms, like that was dope. To me, that was the same thing we was doing with the clothes. That's the same thing. He was just doing it from his end. And I think that a lot of time people got caught up in his antics and not really looked at him like, damn, he a dope MC outside all the antics. Like shit, he a dope MC. Like really. You know, so that's, I think not that Atlanta lost any respect for him. I just think the game of hip hop don't give him the respect that I think he do.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like there's a general consensus between the two men having a conversation right now that the respect is given, but it's also given from this angle directly to you, man. You know, for years, you lent your voice and now you're loaning your wisdom to us. So we respect that, man, and I appreciate you for coming on the platform, man, to, you know, offer some more insight. And we got to do this again soon, man. We can't wait this long. We can't wait. We got to do this again soon.
We got to. I got to bring Scott. Scott, you got to talk to Scott Wiley. You got to tell him about this Southern soul, man. And I'm happy, man, because I'm like, man, come on, man, like, get me back on the radio, get me out here moving. But OG, you know it's hard, man. You know, we in the 15-passenger van, man. Cuz got me back out here in the chitlin circuit, man.
Yeah. but the difference is now you know where that 15-passenger van is headed. You know what putting that work in look like now because you have a proven concept. Yeah, you have proof of concept.
I'm proud of them, man. Yeah. Like proud of everybody that's representing the genre because it's gonna give us light again, man. It's gonna give music light, artistry light, and man, it's time for some new writers, some new sounds. Like I love hip hop, but man, y'all done sampled everything and redid everything to death. God damn. Like I want some new, and I think right now, the black people in America, it's time to let go of what you thought it was, and just deal with what it really is in front of your face. Love you to death, OG. You don't even know. The name Willie, my daddy named Willie, so you know, I know you don't play no games when they close the door, man. Bye, you know, Cujo named Willie. My daddy named Willie Joe Gipp. Cujo Willie name. And I just know every man that got that name, man, they special. And they turn out to be real bulls and real leaders for us. And people don't realize it until you get grown and look back and be like, boy, them Willies was always silent, boy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Real life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Gipp. No more talk. Wow.